What did you do?
Oh, fuck.
Open the door. Open the door. Open the door.
It's not letting me.
Every time you turn around, she's a bit closer. It's like, ah!
I was afraid that was going to happen. Alright, Alma.
Shoot her. Oh. Oh, you're in her world.
Great.
Run the opposite way. Nope, nope, nope. Can't do that.
Oh, is that blood getting lower?
It's not blood, it's lava.
I have a feeling if it touches me, I'm going to die.
I don't think it is getting
I don't
lower,
think it
though.
is either.
Otherwise, that exit sign would be covered by it.
Those are the phantom things that she can summon.
Do they actually hurt you, though?
I think if they hit you, I don't think it's like they hurt you too much, but I think they can. Sometimes she'll shoot like a bunch of them at you if they hit you.
Granada!
Yeah.
Turn around, she's like right there.
This is
yeah, so we went into a weird conversation for the first bit of this game.
Yeah.
What was it? We started with sex with invisible girls.
Yeah.
Then, what was the thing that we went into after that?
There was another thing that you said that wasn't your original question.
Steps.
Yeah, steps. Yeah, we talked about that for a few
What
minutes.
makes a step a step?
Yeah.
We went into some other weird shit. Then we went into about war and nuclear, like, basically...
How did we even start talking about war and everything? Were you talking about this game at all? Like,
I think what we did was we talked about this game, and then something came up about how, duration of war or something. Oh, the Great War. We talked about it as the Great War, and I said, Americans don't... well, not Americans. I said a lot of people don't actually know that it was called the Great War. And then we were talking about... I think I mentioned how, like, a lot of people might not know this because we're Canadians, but we actually have a lot of experience with war. And then I said how we actually have more experience in wars than America does.
Yeah.
Because we've actually been in... either... I wouldn't say we've been in more wars, but we've been in wars longer than America.
Yeah.
And I think the total time that we've been in a war for far exceeds... What is wrong? Oh, he's dead. Okay. Nope. Now he's dead. Far exceeds the time that America has been in wars.
He's talking.
Huh. You're just blinding him as he's like slowly dying.
Stop shining your light at me.
Get off my foot. Oh, lights go back on. There's like knives all through him.
Oh.
You got granadas, right? Shoot them through the grate. No, I doubt it.
Let me switch my weapon.
Now, the next checkpoint, we should really end the episode, though.
Yeah, actually been going for a while now.
Yeah. Almost 3 hours, I think.
Jeez.
I really hope that the thing doesn't freeze.
Can you imagine that?
That would
crap.
suck, especially since we had a lot of good conversations. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be offended or something by the conversation.
I mean, it's just our opinions, and we don't know everything that we're talking about. Like, this is just our limited knowledge of...
Yeah, and also the fact that, like, there are facts behind it, and, the things I mentioned about John Oliver.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be offended by that, like how, oh no, we don't have too many nukes, and it's like, well, proof says otherwise.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
But, like, there's not a lot of people out there that care too much for proof.
But I know there's a lot of Americans out there, too, that would agree with us that, the funding needs to be cut on, like, military spending.
Well, I wouldn't even say cut. Cut's a terrible word. Because, like, they can continue spending how much they want on military.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't need 4,800 and something nuclear warheads.
For sure. You can destroy the world, like you said, like 1,000 times over.
Well, probably not 1,000. Actually...
I think, I heard somewhere
what's the blast radius of a nuke?
I don't know. Actually.
Okay. Blast radius of a nuke. We're gonna need to know this.
It's important.
Death is highly likely and radiation poison is almost certain if one is caught in the open with no terrain or building masking effects within a radius of 3 kilometers. And a 50% chance of death from the blast because it extends out to 8 kilometers.
How long? Sorry, how much?
Within 3 kilometers, death is certain. You have a 50% chance of death within 8 kilometers of that, so within 11 kilometers, you're almost certain to die. 11 kilometers.
And this is like what type of nuke did it specify? Like an atomic bomb?
1 megaton.
Oh, megaton.
Yeah, it says basically if you're within the hypocenter is what it's called.
Yeah.
Which is a 3 kilometer radius.
Yeah.
Obviously, like smack dab in the middle would be 1.5.
Yeah. You're pretty much done.
Actually, no. What it's saying is like if this is the epicenter, 3 kilometers this way and 3 kilometers this way, so 6 kilometers
in total. Was pretty much obliterated.
From one side of the circle to the other side is 100% like death. As long as it's open terrain. If there was like masking effects like buildings or something, or like you're in a shelter, you might survive.
Yeah.
This is just assuming that you're on like a flat terrain for the entire distance of it. So 6 kilometers basically, instant death. From that is another 2 kilometers on either side, so within 10 kilometers of the blast is severe damage, which is 75% chance of death. Now within 40, so 20 and 20. Wait, no. It's kind of hard because like the little things are all over the place. Like this is the center,
yeah,
this is the outer center, this is up here now is suddenly over there, and then that one at the top is the furthest.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Wasn't the greatest graphic they could.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this thing, and apparently, I guess, to say anything, if you're within 40 kilometers of the blast zone,
yeah,
you have a chance of 25% chance of death at the least.
40 kilometers.
The closer you are, higher chance.
Yeah.
How far are we from Toronto? I think that'd be one of the biggest targets.
I would think so, yeah, or Montreal or something like that in Canada, but yeah.
I'm gonna just look that up right now.
Getting all nervous.
I
think we're like at least like 60 kilometers from Toronto, I think. They would probably hit like downtown, which is even farther than Toronto.
We're 59.4 kilometers.
Yeah, so yeah.
We're just in like the safe zone, but it said 25% chance if you're within 40, which means further out you'd still suffer from like radiation.
Yeah.
So I think we're in the zone where we might still be screwed.
Yeah, but me too pretty.
Oh, no. I've seen you play Fallout. I've seen those super mutants. They are not pretty.
Ghouls, yeah.
Ghouls, super mutants.
I wonder if maybe they'd probably go for Ottawa, I would think. I mean, that's technically our capital. And
you ever notice, though, that when they use nuclear weapons... Hello. You ever notice when they use nuclear weapons, they never aim for, like, the center of state?
Yeah. So the limited amount of times they actually have used nuclear weapons.
They never really targeted a major center of state area. And even when they were having the Cold War, the main areas they were trying to protect were residential.
Yeah.
I think that's the main reason you would use a nuke, though, is target the residential, piss off the people in charge, or kind of like use it as a scare tactic. Like, we just killed like 1,000 of your citizens. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's why they wouldn't really target like the White House or Ottawa.
Yeah.
It'd probably be bigger to target like one of our main cities, like a highly populated, dense area.
Mm-hmm. Which is not exactly like Toronto or Montreal or something.
Compared to a place where you're actually killing people in charge.
Yeah.
Ever notice that's kind of like what warfare is these days? You kill the innocent bystanders to like enrage everyone else and not target the ones in charge. The ones in charge always seem to be the safest.
Yeah, it's kind of true, actually. You never really hear about like any like main like top level government people.
Yeah, like how easy would it have been to just launch a nuke at the White House? Like,
yeah, I mean, they gotta have like some sort.
They
of
obviously have
protective,
defenses,
like,
but like, I guess that's probably another reason too. You know, like the populated areas are probably going to have less military defenses to stop a nuke than a highly secured national leader.
Yeah, that's true. You know, in times of war, they probably don't they probably have places that they can go that are like secure.
Well, yeah, like you know, the White House has that underground bunker.
Yeah. Let's go this way.
But you know what I mean by that, right? Like, it's obviously that they're not going to target someone in high standing.
Mm-hmm. No, I can.
It's always going to be like the innocent population.
Yeah. It scares the people and everything as well too.
Yeah, like that could be my town next.
Yeah.
So I think Toronto's a bigger target for it. And you know, like what's more saying if you plan to attack Canada, you're going to take out the CN Tower.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
like one of our national
iconic,
symbols,
yeah.
right? It's not like you're going to send a nuke to every beaver dam.
I don't know. Does Montreal have any? Like, I'm thinking just Toronto and Montreal because I think they're like two of the most popular cities that we have. But I don't know.
Well, to be fair,
Montreal
one of our
has
bigger places that you would be able to target would be
Vancouver as well too.
well, yeah, but that's mostly that's not really like. Okay, I was about to phrase it in a very rude way, but I'm not going to
really
phrase it
that
that way.
important.
What?
You were gonna say, oh, they're not really.
No, not like that, not like that. I was gonna say, I was gonna say like it's not like purely a Canadian population down there, because there's a lot of immigrants.
Yeah, I've heard that actually. Just because I guess they're so close to that other side. Of
Yeah.
Like Japan and China.
Oriental.
Yeah.
Because it's true, like there's a huge Oriental population down there. Like, I don't want to sound offensive or like say they're not Canadian, because they are Canadian residents. They're just
A lot of them probably are Canadian citizens.
That's what I mean,
born
right?
Here
Like,
and whatnot.
most of them were probably born here. They're probably like maybe even first gen Canadians. You know, but like that doesn't mean they're any less Canadian.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is like the people more inland, like Toronto, are people that are like fifth or sixth gen Canadians. Like they've been here for like their family's been here for a long time.
Yeah.
And it'd probably be more devastating to the Canadian population if you targeted, you know, like long-term Canadians that have like probably long links with Canada than the newer populations.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, for sure.
Like I can totally see them, you know, targeting, you know, BC as well, because you know it is a well-populated area. I'm just saying, I think Toronto would be a bigger target.
Yeah, I think Toronto is more.
It's like the number one
iconic
to me
for-
target if they ever hit.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, if they were smart with nuclear weapons, I think they would target our plains. Saskatchewan, Manitoba,
Yeah.
Alberta. Because that's where we grow most of our food.
That's true.
And once that
Yeah,
becomes
that's true.
irradiated... Why am I giving people ideas? If that becomes irradiated, we probably wouldn't be able to sustain as much as we do.
Yeah, I mean, even out Alberta, you know, that's like a huge oil industry over
That too.
there. So I mean, that could cripple our.
And even if you didn't cripple it for the purpose of, you know, oil, hitting it with a nuke would probably set all that oil off
Yeah.
and cause worse damage.
Oh, that's very true.
So if you think about it, like, there's a lot of... And, you know, like, the only thing that Canada really has going for it, if nuclear warfare did happen, is we got a lot of places where we could get clean water.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you bombed one of them, we'd probably have, like, several others we could hit up.
Yeah. Because I think they said, yeah, Canada has the largest amount of
Clean, fresh water.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, that's a good thing that we have going for us. But, you know, if you hit our plains, we lose a lot of our farmland.
Yeah.
If you hit Toronto, we lose a lot of our population. Actually, I believe Canada currently has a population of 40 million people.
Is it really?
I believe so. Let me just Google that real quick. Canada population. 35.16 million. As of 2013.
So it's definitely
So it's probably 40. We'll just say 40 as an
pretty
even
close,
number.
I would think, yeah.
And now Toronto population. 2.6 million as of 2011. So again, we'll just up it to 3 million. You know, that's 400,000 more people
Yeah.
over 5-6 years. Well, it depends on what day this was done in. But anyway, so that's like 1/13 of our population is in Toronto.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's a big hit.
That's a fair size, yeah. Fair amount.
And probably like the rest of them are, you know, like Montreal, Vancouver.
Yeah, because I don't like mind checking up the population of Montreal and Vancouver. I'm curious.
I don't think it'll be more than Toronto though. And Ottawa probably does have a big population too.
Yeah.
You said Montreal?
Yeah, and Vancouver. You don't mind.
1.65 million in Montreal.
Okay.
Vancouver. $603,000.
Okay, so then yeah, Toronto's definitely.
So Toronto's almost twice as much as Montreal, and Montreal is 3 times as much as Vancouver.
Yeah.
Ottawa now. Ottawa is 900,000.
Okay. So I can't really think of any other popular cities, so Toronto must be the number one.
And also, since if you hit Toronto, you know, you'd be getting most of like probably half of Durham region too, which is heavily populated.
Yeah.
And also the other way, you'd be going, you'd probably get like Kitchener. What's the other one?
Guelph is out
Guelph
there.
is, but Guelph's not that
It's
popular.
not huge, no.
It does have a lot of land though.
Has a pretty popular university, I think, too. Guelph University is pretty popular, but
Do you think it would hit Waterloo?
to be honest, well, it would be. I don't know if it would like get obliterated, but it would probably people in Waterloo would be affected.
Radiation, at least. So yeah, you know, like just hitting Toronto would be a huge like population hit for us.
Yeah.
I know it says like just Toronto would be 1/13 of our population, but I think with the after effects and all that stuff, you'd probably be looking at 1/10.
Yeah. But I mean that's assuming that everybody in Toronto also got. I don't know how big Toronto is exactly. I don't know if it would.
Well, we're 60 kilometers away from Toronto.
Yeah.
And the bomb would decimate everything within 20 kilometers. So
it would be a good chunk of Toronto.
It'd be a good chunk decimated.
Yeah.
And then it said within like another 20 kilometers of that is a 50% chance of survival.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that's still a lot of death. And then within 10 more kilometers of that is like a 25% chance. And then after that, it's just radiation effects.
Yeah.
Which is why we would just barely survive where we are.
Yeah. Was that
you can confirm now. Oh, wait. Was this the same?
Yeah, I think
okay.
you want to...
Yeah, we'll finish up the conversation we're having here.
Okay.
And then finish up the episode. Well, episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that would be a pretty devastating blow. Like 1/10 of our population will either be dead, incapacitated, or radiation poisoning.
Yeah. And I don't think Canada has any way to defend themselves from nuclear.
Well, it depends. We have those things in the Arctic that was to stop both America and Russia from the Cold War.
From the Cold War. They still have those things?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't think it would be very effective though if America just shot one at us.
If America
because we have nothing between us and America. We have stuff between America and Russia. But we do have a few military bases. One in Toronto.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have any anti-missile stuff, but even if you shot one out of the air, don't you think it would still explode and
I would
cause radiation to sprinkle down?
Yeah. It's still, definitely wouldn't be good.
No, definitely not. It would be better than it just blowing up, but it'd still be terrible.
Yeah.
And isn't that how most zombie movies start too?
A lot of them, yeah. Yeah.